Hey Brickheads, Scott with 36 Bricks here, and we are doing another Lego store design. Let's check it out. Alright guys, that's right. We're doing it again. We're doing another Lego store display. When I do these displays, I always want to incorporate sets that they could potentially sell or they have in store to sell. Because we have been working on the zoo, I wanted to go ahead and incorporate something along those lines. I had these two sets left over, and I figured what would be better than incorporating these two sets in a new build. I think it's going to be awesome. Let's rock it out. Alright guys, so I am super excited. Now as you know, or as you can kind of tell, I am going to be building this live, not on a live stream, but using live stream technology. So I'm going to be rocking these builds out and having a great time. I'm going to kind of walk you through kind of what my mindset is in regards to this. Or these type of builds. Like I said, I like to incorporate sets that they currently have in stock at the Lego store, and then in addition to that, I like to design something that is similar so you can kind of tell what it is, but way expand on it and way different so that people get an idea that you can do more. So first and foremost, I am going to go with two base plates. So we're going to have those. And then I'm going to incorporate these builds. So I'm not going to build, I'm not going to build kind of what you see here in regards to the helicopter. I'm not going to build this right here, but I am probably going to build the shack, and then I'm going to create a display for both the lion and the elephants. So it's almost going to be like two builds in one. Which I think is going to be cool. So we're going to go ahead and start with the smaller set, the lions, and then work our way through. So we're going to start with the base plates. And I'm going to open this bad boy up, which they are punch outs. And then we're going to pull out all the contents. Now, of course, I'm going to be using a lot of my own parts, but the first things first, I always like to get a layout of what I have and what I'm working with. Alright, so as you guys can kind of see, book 2, that is a vehicle, so we're going to set that aside. We can clearly see that bag 2 is the vehicle just within the parts itself. Then we're going to go ahead and take a look. So bag 3, this looks like this set right here. We might pull the stuff out for this, but I'm not quite sure. And then bag 1 is the overall, this section of the build. So this is my plan. We're going to set bag 3 aside and just work with the lion, because we have the lion here. And then set these parts aside. Then we are going to primarily work with this bag here. Now, bag number 1, it is the kind of the lion's cave of sorts. So we're going to start with those, and we're also, of course, going to incorporate some of my own parts. So there's that. So we're going to, this looks like just small pieces, so I'm going to just go ahead and set that aside for now. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull out some of my parts. I typically use these for or I'm going to be using these for my underwater, but I have plenty to spare, so and at some point I will probably be taking this apart, so it's not going to really hurt me that much to use some of them. All right, so now I think we have enough parts to kind of work with. I'm going to move the parts that came in with the set away first. And then I'm going to start working on this. So the idea for this is going to be along the lines of, we want a separate design for both, like a separate area for both. So we're going to kind of split this because obviously, you know, lions and elephants. I did that again. Lions and elephants kind of coincide together, but they don't. You know, it's not a situation where they really like hang out and they're friends. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. Now, in doing this, I actually need to move this forward, and then I need to find a way to where I can combine this. Now, I'm kind of doing this in somewhat of a hurry, mainly because I need to get this done by this weekend. So it is currently Thursday, or Friday. Sorry, it is currently Friday, and I need to get this rocked out no later than Sunday. And I've got a lug meeting tomorrow. That will take me away, and then I have another lug meeting Sunday. So I've kind of promised this by Sunday morning. So I got to really, really, really rock it out. Alright guys, so what I'm doing here is basically just giving the build some texture. Layering of the waterfalls just to give it a more dynamic look. So I'm starting out with the center and then working my way out. Now, I know it's a little hard to see, but I'm basically duplicating both sides. The difference is this has a bigger puddle because it'll house the elephants, and elephants, of course, need more water. So that is the mindset, but as far as a splashdown or splash pool, this is a little bit more shallow than this. Since I have the piece, I might as well just... All right. All right. After considering this, I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate the build on both sides as far as the waterfall. It is coming from the same water source, so it only makes sense that it would be the same. So we're going to go ahead and change this piece out and then rock that out. So this is, for the most part, the same on both sides in regards to the splash pool. So the landscape, of course, is going to be slightly different. We are going to make adjustments on that, but overall, that I'm just gonna, that piece wants to flow in there. So in regards to that, it's going to be the same. However, we'll of course do a little bit of a different direction and all that kind of fun stuff, and then shrubbery and such. So I am excited to build this build. I've been thinking about what I wanted to change, and then it was kind of a weird situation where I forgot all about the builds, and then because I've been working on all of this, and then all of a sudden I was like, we were on our way to dinner, and my wife was still getting dental work done, so we were like, okay, we'll go over to near the Lego store, and then I was like, oh, I gotta do another build for that. So I need to work on that. So I was like, okay, now I need to do that. Let's rock this out and have some fun. So again, this is pretty much a complete mock. Somewhat based on what I did with the zoo, just of course this is more nature. Now when you're doing the waterfall pieces like this, just to give it a little bit more dynamic, what you want to do is you want to start off, well, what I typically do is start off with 6 pieces here, and then work your way down in numbers, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That way it gives it a little bit more depth. That's what I like to do anyway. I really love like different textures and all of that kind of stuff when I build. So it catches my eye. So by doing that kind of stuff, it's a lot of fun. Makes it a little bit more different than your average builder. There's 3, 4. Actually, I'm going to do 3, kind of a little bit of a drop around the edges. All right, guys. So now that we have uh, the the waterfall somewhat done, still got to add some parts over here and that kind of fun stuff. But overall, the overall waterfall is done, and then I want it to trickle this way, and then on this one, um, maybe trickle out. So I will probably move this piece right here, maybe to this side, but that way it kind of flows, more like a river. I mean, because it's not, there's very few places in the world where it actually curves like a full bend, or a full, like cul-de-sac. So I'm thinking, it flows out this way and it flows out that way. Um, or maybe this one, since I already have this here, this flows out this way and then this flows out that way. I think that would actually be good. That way I don't have to move around pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and start that process. Now, of course, unfortunately, because this is round, it is definitely a situation where it doesn't exactly flow properly, as far as pieces. So I will have to adapt that and see what I can do as far as that. And then for this one, I mean, obviously these are all square pieces, so I will have to kind of figure out, curvature and, and all that kind of fun stuff. But essentially, I'm just marking out where I want the river to go, and then I can always figure out the details after that. It's just kind of the final touches. So that's kind of the mindset when it comes to this, this kind of stuff. So what we're doing is basically just shaping the river to make it flow well, leaving some room. Like it obviously logistically makes sense for me to go all the way up to the rock face. However, I want to actually incorporate some shrubbery around there, so I'm going to leave that there, and then work around that, because that'll give me more of a slope or dynamic texture than if I just butted it up against up against there. So I might end up changing that later. Who knows? It's just one of those things where we will figure that out over time. And then of course, the touch ups. You don't want it to go exact because then it looks too uniformed. So you definitely want to stagger things a little bit, especially when it comes to water. Water doesn't flow, it goes where it needs to go, right? So you want to just kind of, stagger it and make sure that it looks right. And then what I'm thinking to do when you have, holes or pockets like that where it doesn't quite line up, you can easily just put in little bits of rock and stuff like that, and it would look like the water is working its way around some rocks, which always looks cool. So we're definitely going to see where this kind of takes us. Now, similar to water, I'm going with the flow here. I'm just, I'm not trying to over exaggerate certain aspects, but this is basically how I work MOCs. Like, it seems like I'm going really fast with them, but it just when the river flows, it flows, right? So and then again, you know, you stagger things so that you can add those little fine details of, you know, rock features and all that kind of fun stuff later on. So and then of course you obviously have to um, you know, work around the design and where you want to place the animals. So some of it essentially is trial and error, right? Because I'm going to lay these down, and then a lot of times I will end up taking some of them off because I, quite frankly, I need to, because I need to make space for the animals, or, you know, the shrubbery, or all of that kind of fun stuff. And that's kind of the nature of MOCs, right? You go with the flow. You know, if you see stuff that you don't necessarily like and you want to change, well, you change it. You change it. That's the nature of the beast. So that is kind of what we're working with here. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and you know, texture around the sides. I want to tile this 100%, but it just depends on what pieces I have and what I can put together. So if I can't like tile, I'll at least plate over it so that it has, you know, it's not the same level, because you don't want anything flat with any build. It doesn't, you know, quite look right. But you can always, you know, change things up and go from there. So I'm gonna turn this around, and then of course, essentially we're going into this corner here. So we're gonna make those changes to angle it and make those adjustments. So that'll be fun. And again, I'm kind of staggering the plates. Because I know that I'm going to be wanting to situate them in a pattern to where it flows. You know, it starts to flow that way. And then I am going to, you know, kind of weave it around this way. So this is the tigers, or the lions, and then this is the elephants. The reason I know that is because I've kind of designed rock features. And with the elephants, they are so big that it is hard to work around those. So with bigger animals, you want to make sure that you have the least amount of hindrance when it comes to space. Because, like I said, when you start incorporating the animals or the elephants, you're going to end up having to move stuff around. It's just, you know, that's just how it has to go, because you have to make room for them. Alright, so there is kind of the flow of the river there. I think it's looking pretty good, to be honest. Not to, you know, toot my own horn, but I actually really like the direction that this is going, so I'm really excited about that. Now, from here, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and arrange, you know, rock pieces all the way around. Now, the one thing I've noticed and that I love to do is I love to interchange colors. So obviously, the closer the water, the darker the sand, right? Because the sand is wet. So here, you kind of want to outline, you know, the different pieces with dark tan, so that it gives it that wet look. Okay, so in addition to, like, you know, maybe some dark tan colors, you're going to want to incorporate maybe some browns. Now, this requires a lot of layering, and it is actually somewhat difficult to layer with uh, with Brix. So you're going to want to get out a bunch of your plates and layer with the plates instead. Now, you want to mix up and change up the dynamic. You don't want to just, do. Now, when you have pieces like this work out really good because you can literally just design design the, part to go this way, and then it flows really nicely. So that is these pieces here or similar pieces, they're a little oddballish. They're like, oh, what do you do with these? But these slopes, are wonderful. And this is another one. Obviously, this has a sticker on it, but this is another one where you can really give some dynamic and texture to the overall build by just adding a bunch of those little slopes.
check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. Sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
Alright guys, so here it is. Here is the newest habitat, and this is going to be going into the Lego store. So just to kind of give you a recap, if you haven't been able to catch the live streams both on YouTube and Twitch, so we have a alligator right here with some baby eggs. We have a nice variety of trees and mountains to go around the habitat itself. Then we have, of course, a mama elephant with her baby back there, spraying, it's a little hard to see, but spraying the crocodile, spraying the alligator there. And then we have a nice little snake up front, as well as two monkeys hanging out near the waterfall. Now, on the other side, we have a kind of a wonky looking tree here. We have a lioness all hanging out in the other side of the waterfall. Then we have a albino lion here, which is I think really awesome that they came out with. We also have an albino cub, two cubs hanging out, one in the water and the other watching. And then we have a laying down lion, or a lion over here laying down in the grass enjoying the shade. So in addition to that, we come over here to the mountain with a bare tree, and yeah, so that is essentially the build. I wanted to overall have a flowing theme, where water was coming this way, water was coming that way, that way it wasn't just a loop or something along those lines. But I really think it turned out awesome. I'm really excited that I am completed. Now this, like I said before, is going to be going in as a display at the Lego store. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to showcase when I do these. Now this is like the third one that I've done. The last two that I've done, if you include this one, has been more themed to some of the sets that they sell in store. I always look at things when I do some stuff like this, as especially when I'm displaying in a store, to kind of help them with marketing. That way they can see, they can, as customers kind of see these, they can go, oh, that's an amazing elephant. Where can I get that? And then the employees can go, oh, well, that's in this set here. Or, hey, that's an amazing lion. Where can we get those? Oh, you can go ahead and purchase this set, and it has those. And then it also expands and says, hey, you can do a lot more with those sets if you just put your mind to it. So I'm really excited as to how these came out. It was a lot of fun building these, and I'm excited to do more. So hope you guys like this kind of stuff. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time on 36 Brix. Alright guys, it's official, day 2 of Lug Weekend. So that's right, I'm super excited. So just before the meeting, I am actually stopping by the Lego store to switch out my display to a different build. So I am super excited for that. Check out the videos on that. But I am super excited because I'm going to the Lego store. I might do some shopping a little bit, not much. And then we are off to the second Lug meeting for the weekend. So super excited. Let's go. Hey everybody, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank all of my Patreon supporters. It really means a lot that you've taken the time, energy, effort to support my channel, the videos that I create, and the live streams. It really does mean a lot. If you're not a member, please go to patreon.com/36brix. That's patreon.com/36brix. Check out my memberships, and if you like what you see, please sign up. If not, click the donate button on... Ooh, this one's cool. Check this one out. I agree, that one's cool, but this one's awesome. Ooh, I like this one. I just can't stop watching. Well, I like them all, and I'm gonna subscribe. Can you do the same? Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on 36 Brix.